You know what's strange? There are people who genuinely don't care about their birthday. Not in a fake, humble way, not because they're too busy. They just don't. No party, no cake, no celebration.
And when you ask them why, they shrug and say, it's just another day. But is it really that simple? Or is there something happening beneath the surface? Something psychological? Something most people never talk about? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might realize you're one of these people. Or maybe you'll finally understand someone you know who is. And if you're the kind of person who's always wondered why birthdays feel so different to different people, make sure to hit subscribe. We explore the hidden psychology behind everyday behaviors, the stuff that actually makes sense of who you are.
Let's start with the most painful reason. Some people don't celebrate their birthday because deep down, they never really felt celebrated. Picture this. You're 8 years old. You wake up excited. It's your birthday. You tell your parents. They nod, distracted. You go to school hoping your friends remember. They don't. You come home. No cake. No surprise. Just silence. Now imagine that happening year after year. At first, it stings. Then it becomes normal. And eventually, your brain does something remarkable. It protects you. It stops expecting celebration, so you stop feeling the hurt when it doesn't come. Psychologists have a term for this: learned helplessness. It's when repeated disappointment teaches your brain to stop hoping. And it doesn't just apply to birthdays. It seeps into relationships, career ambitions, even self-image. The person stops trying because trying has only ever led to pain. So when their birthday rolls around as an adult, they don't ignore it out of apathy. They ignore it out of self-defense. It's armor. And honestly, it works. Until someone asks them, "Why don't you celebrate?" And suddenly they have to confront a wound they buried years ago.
But not everyone who skips their birthday has a tragic backstory. Some people are just overwhelmed. Think about it. You wake up, check your phone, 50 notifications, emails, messages, deadlines, meetings. Your brain is already running at full capacity before you even brush your teeth. And then someone says, "Hey, isn't it your birthday?" And you freeze. Because honestly, you forgot. Not because you don't care, but because your mental bandwidth is maxed out. This is what researchers call cognitive overload. When your brain is managing too much information, it starts filtering out things it considers non-essential. And for people living in survival mode, whether that's financial stress, work pressure, or family responsibilities, a birthday doesn't make the cut. It's not that they're emotionally numb, it's that their brain is in triage mode. Urgent always wins over important. And a birthday? It just doesn't feel urgent. Here's the thing, though. These people often don't even realize how burned out they are. They think, "I'm just not a birthday person." But really, they're a person who hasn't had space to breathe in months, maybe years. And when you're running on fumes, rituals feel exhausting, even ones that are supposed to be fun. If you're enjoying this deep dive into human behavior, and you want more content that actually explains the way people think, don't forget to subscribe. We're building a community of curious minds who want to understand themselves and others on a deeper level. You'll fit right in. Now, here's where it gets interesting. There's a third group, and these people, they're different. They know it's their birthday. They're not sad. They're not overwhelmed. They just
don't need it. And that's not cold. It's actually a sign of something rare: emotional self-sufficiency. Let me explain. Most of us are conditioned from childhood to associate our value with external validation: applause, compliments, likes, gifts, parties. We're taught that being celebrated equals being loved. And for a lot of people, that's true. They need the birthday, not because they're shallow, but because it's one of the few times they feel genuinely seen. But there's another type of person, someone who's done the internal work, someone who's learned that their worth isn't tied to a date on a calendar or how many people show up with cake. Psychologists call this intrinsic motivation, the ability to find meaning and satisfaction from within rather than from outside sources. And studies show that people with high intrinsic motivation tend to be more resilient, more emotionally stable, and, here's the kicker, more content. They don't need the world to stop and celebrate them because they've already celebrated themselves every single day. Not in an arrogant way, in a peaceful way. These are the people who say, "I don't really do birthdays," and mean it without bitterness. They're not rejecting love, they're just not dependent on it being packaged in balloons and Instagram stories. And honestly, that's a kind of freedom most people never experience.
So, here's the bigger picture. Your relationship with your birthday isn't random. It's a window into your psychology. If you crave celebration, it might mean you're someone who thrives on connection and shared joy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Humans are social creatures. We're wired to bond over rituals. But if you don't care about your birthday, it could mean one of three things. Maybe you've been hurt and you're protecting yourself. Maybe you're so overloaded that you've lost touch with what brings you joy. Or maybe, just maybe, you've reached a level of inner peace where you don't need external proof of your existence. And here's what's wild. None of these are permanent. You can be someone who ignored birthdays for years and then one day decide, you know what, I want to celebrate. And that's growth too. Because choosing to let people in, choosing to be seen, choosing joy, that takes courage. Just like choosing not to need it takes strength. The truth is, there's no right or wrong way to feel about your birthday, but understanding why you feel the way you do, that changes everything. It gives you power. It helps you see the patterns. And maybe, just maybe, it helps you decide if you want to keep those patterns or break them.
So, which one are you? Are you protecting yourself? Are you overwhelmed? Or have you found peace in not needing the spotlight? Whatever your answer, I hope this video gave you something to think about. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. We're diving into psychology that actually matters, the kind that explains you. And hey, if this resonated, leave a like so more people can find it. Also, check out the next video on screen. We're exploring another fascinating topic about human behavior that you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.